Hi everybody. So we are going to continue with the second part of today's readings. We have already done each sign, through the zodiac with an Napolitane deck, and now we're going to be using the Osho Zen Tarot. I always want to say Osho Zen Oracle. I don't know why. Maybe if that is actually a deck, maybe I need to get it or something. I've never seen it. Maybe I have. I don't know. But we're going to get going. So I've already shuffled, as you know from the last video, because I shuffled all the cards together and then I just cut it so that I could do this one so that the last one wouldn't be so long. So here we are. The cards are shuffled. They're laid out. The bottom of the deck is intensity. Okay, and this is the Knight of Wands energy. So intensity meets what to balance itself out? Maybe restricting the intensity, because that after Sag comes Capricorn, so it's like it's the intensity, which is Sagittarius. Okay, the next card that we get would be like the Queen of Wands, not the Queen of Wands. It would be, but it would be like the Queen of Pentacles as well. Right? So it's kind of like intensity, and then we're thinking of materialization, craftsmanship, intense, craftsmanship, intense, spending. Just because the next card that I'm thinking of would be associated with that. This card is also connected to shared resources. So maybe sharing resources with someone has become too intense for some people. That could be a living situation. It could be an intimate relationship that has become too intense for some of you, or it could be a situation, right? And then we're thinking about escapism, or we're thinking about freedom, right? Breaking free, moving forward, that type of thing, So whatever it is that has gotten intense for any of you, or all of you, or some of us, or some of, whatever, let's bring it down. Let's ground ourselves, right? Too much of a good thing, or too much of anything. And that's what this intensity card is, It's like when one thing leads to huge, because I've seen in other cards that depict this energy, where it's like, a fire, like, in what deck is that I have? I think it's the Tarot of the Divine Masculine, or Divine Masculine Tarot. And it's like a forest fire and people are getting out. And I also have it in another deck too, and it's kind of like a fire and like the animals are trying to get out and shit. So it's like one spark can lead to whoa, right? So that's why we gotta manage things better, not letting things get out of control, not letting our desire to control an outcome make us forget who we are or where we come from, right? Authenticity is very important. We got the Rebirth card here, which is the Ten of Swords, I believe. And this is definitely an ending that brings clarity and truth and strength and understanding and knowing. There is power in knowing. There is responsibility in knowing, This is a phase that has ended, a cycle that has ended, a narrative that has completed itself. Okay? Why am I getting a ring around the rosy, child? I don't know, child, but that's what I'm getting. Weird. But this is going to reduce to the Ace of Swords, which is talking about focus, truth, intention. Okay? And then the card that came up at the bottom of the deck is intensity, which is based off of intense, right? And intention and intent. Rebirth, Ten of Swords, Lord of Ruin. So let's go ahead and look at what's challenging you, or us, the trust, right? Rebirth and trust, okay? So it's like, the trust card is actually the Knight of Cups, okay? Rebirth, this is also rebirth too, just because it's Pisces, you know? And Pisces is indicative of spiritual rebirth, sort of like an awakening. Sometimes epiphanies that come. It also is talking about how you are being spiritually guided. You know, that's the challenge, right? Some of you aren't listening to your spiritual guidance. Maybe some of you aren't trusting your spiritual guidance. Maybe some of you aren't trusting what the knowledge that someone has, or maybe that something goes beyond your knowledge or your level of understanding, because that's why trust is there. So because it's like, if it goes beyond my level of knowledge or understanding and beyond my level of faith to believe, you know, then all I can do is to just trust. You know, do you know the ultimate truth? Do you know that? You know what I mean? So that's why you got to have faith. That's why you have to trust as well, you know? And it is kind of like freeing yourself up from the expectation, the responsibility of making something happen and believing that it can happen. It's a very much like a trust and believe card, you know. Beautiful sky, I love it. These are kind of like Libra colors. You know, Venus is exalted in Pisces, and that's where it is right now, you know. So it's talking about faith in the process. You're challenged by having faith in the process. You know? This is saying, don't necessarily always believe everything that you hear someone else say. Or, you know, yeah, basically that, because it's coming from Aquarius. And then we're going into Pisces with the Knight of Cups, okay? Past consciousness. Okay, work. So we're getting in the past consciousness, Ace of Swords, right? What headspace are we living in? What do we think? What do we believe? Clarity, you know? It was clear in the past. Truth be told. Truth was told in the past. Truth be told. You know, so this is conscious awareness of something. And after the conscious awareness, bam, going from the Ace all the way through to the 10, which is where we are now. That's the rebirth, right? Trust this rebirth. Yes. Let's see what's going on here. We are the world, honey. Yes, come on. This is about humanity. It's about family, okay? It's about believing that anything is possible. And also, like, when you reach a certain point, you know, how do you manage that? You know, how do you manage your treasure? How do you manage what has been given? How do you manage what has been made perfect already? You know, so this is saying that something was not, you know, perfection is not a real word, but like the earth, that is already perfect. You know? So with this Ten of Pentacles, this Mercury in Virgo, it's talking about how everything is connected. Right? Everyone and everything is connected. Energy cannot be... Okay, right. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Hey, you heard it here first. But this is focusing your energy in the right direction. We are all a part of the process. It's the We Are the World card. So it's kind of like, how are we all contributing to our own, for our own benefit? How are we contributing to the good of ourselves and others? That's what this card is, the Ten of Pentacles. How are we contributing to the good and welfare of others? You know? Be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. You want to see change? Well, change costs. And right here is where you start paying. Change. I want to live forever. That was one of my most favorite shows when I was growing up. I loved Fame, the show. And Miss Fame is pretty fabulous too. Drag Race reference. So yeah, be the change you want to see, right? And how are we contributing to the well-being of ourselves and others? You know, when we do that, unstoppable together. You know, this also asks you, who are you at the core? Who are we at the core? We all depend on each other for the survival of the earth and everything on it. Period. We can all do better. We can all do much better. Right? Consciousness in the past, right? We became aware of something in the past, right? Bam. Oh, wake up call. What? We gotta change our ways, Rebirth. Ten of Swords. We gotta change our ways. We got so used to it. It's a 10 connected to Capricorn, right? Conservative. How do we? But it's a sword. It's air. Wow. Whoa. You know? Being supported by We Are the World. You know, Rebirth, We Are the World. What? The Fool here. The Fool here. Right? Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is also, you know, it's associated with Libra. Let's get these scales balanced. you know? This is talking about the universe, spirit, God, the void, all that exists, frequency. We're the circuit board, you know? We are the circuit board. We power up the world, right? Sometimes we are called to do what we thought was impossible. Sometimes we won't believe the impossible. But child, we got things that are called the impossible today that weren't possible but now are. You know, the Fool card does talk about shifts that occur when you have a sort of awakening, right? Or when you are open to, you know, finding out new things. Oh, the places you will go. People think that the Fool doesn't know anything. Zero. But when you don't think that you know everything, or don't believe that you know everything, you're always able to learn more. So God says, don't think that you know everything. Because He created you and everything that you think you know. The Rebel, but that's Aries. Which is crazy because the Uranus symbol used to be like the sun, the line that connects the arrow or the tip at the end. So it's almost like the sun and Mars combined, right? Which is very Seven of Wands, very Leo energy. Okay, so the Rebel here. This is the Emperor, right? The Emperor, somebody that wants to be in control, be in power, be the boldest, always win. But that's only because the Rebel, the Emperor, is only concerned about the space that he controls. What about the other kingdoms? It's a humbling card, the Emperor. Because the Emperor thinks that he cannot be touched. Or he doesn't even believe in the idea or the potential of him even being them. But darling, there is a little stream of water that flows behind the Emperor, and he does not want you to see it. Because if you do, you will know his weakness. Their weakness. So really, what drives the Emperor or the Rebel is their weakness. They turn it into their strength, and they assert that strength. It's a wonderful game, or a very fascinating way to operate. The rebel is also afraid, you know, afraid of themselves. Sometimes so guarded that nothing can get through to them. You know? Aries rules the head, and sometimes, you know, they say, bam, that thick skull thing. So it's almost kind of like the Emperor wants to be indestructible, but definitely doesn't feel indestructible. Deep down. Also, you know, kind of a jerk. The Emperor sometimes, somebody who just doesn't wear their heart on their sleeve or doesn't show emotion, doesn't show concern for others, you know? But we have a solution for that. And it's here. It's the Empress, literally coming right in after the Emperor. Creativity, new purpose, repurposed. The Empress can repurpose anything, right? The Emperor, he's like, honey, boom, 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 boom. I'm banging and I'm hammering, I'm chopping and I'm sawing. The Empress comes in and she's like, okay, well, all of these things that you done made possible, I'm gonna show you how I can take it to the next level. You know? It's what exists. Ace, 1, Aries, the Sun, Mercury, but also Mars and Pluto. Like, Aries is such a powerful sign, right? But the Empress comes in, the creativity comes in, the artistry comes in, the emotions come in, and they add color, they add hue, they add texture. They add sight, smell, okay? Sound, touch, sensation. The Empress does. So the Empress is a great teacher, and it's a motivator in a different type of way than the Emperor ever could be. And it's not with that, you know? It's not with that. It is with grace, with light, with love. Still with the same kind of intensity, but just kind of like on a whole other level. Different lane. You know? Making the best of the resources, right? That's what their creativity, that's why the Empress is actually in the Mars position in this reading. Let's look at the Venus position, sorrow. So somebody's sorry, okay? And we have the card that comes right after this in the center of the reading. So it's going from sorry to the rebirth, from sorrow to the rebirth. You know, and sorry is like sorrow is like sorry, you know. This could be misplaced emotions. Well, that's actually the Seven of Cups. This is misplaced thoughts or actions that lead to worry, you know? So someone's actions led to worry, they're sorry, right? To be sorry, because it's Mars, right? Yeah. Mars in Gemini. So it's Mars in the third house. It's talking about communication and what was said, okay? Or, you know, an impulsive action that leads to a verbal response, or action that leads to a verbal response. This is also someone that is worried and maybe even upset with themselves, taking it to the extreme, maybe, with yourself, beating yourself up, some of you, about things that you can't control. If you're beating yourself up about something that you can't control, then it's kind of like you just have to release your expectation for control, you know. It could also even be holding on to guilt. You know. I don't know. Let's see we got 3 more. 3 more cards. I'm so glad that I did this for you all today, because I don't necessarily listen to my readings, but if it's something that comes on, if I'm listening to something else and it pops up, I might catch something, you know, because I'm not necessarily thinking too much about myself, I guess, when I'm doing these readings. So sometimes when I do listen back, I get something out of it. It's crazy. Moment to moment. 2 of Pentacles. This is balancing act, trying to maintain a sense of poise. You know? Yeah. Maintaining a sense of balance, peace. You know, your faith is being tested and restored at the same time. This is saying that your faith is going to get you far. You know, faith will get you far, moment to moment, right? Faith comes with each step that you take, not just at one time. You know what I mean? And this is also knowing that, you know, your angels, God, Spirit is there with you as you go, as you move forward. Now, what you doing? You doing good? You doing bad? Which one is it? Every little step I take, you will be there. Every little step I make. That type of thing. So listen to that song. So for some of you who are in a relationship, maybe in a new relationship, taking things slow might be a good idea. You know, not moving too fast, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to slip and fall when you move too fast, right? So be careful where you guys are going, right? If you're wearing your shoes that you know don't have a grip and it's raining or something like that, don't wear them shoes. Or maybe don't rush, or maybe hold on to the rail, like that type of thing. You know, slippery when wet. You know? In a sense. Y'all better work. Now this is interesting because this is actually the Sun card. Because it's number 19, which is going into a 10. And I love it because this card is speaking to innocence, right? Innocent, innovate. What other words? What other words can we think of, y'all? Okay. So it's connected to being, existence. You know, somebody's innocent. It's not someone's fault here. You know, don't let pride get in the way. You know, I don't know if innocence and pride can go together. Well, they can. They definitely can. This is connected to being one with the universe, being one with nature, being one with change, you know? Very that. Being passionate about life. Not just being passionate about the material, not just being passionate about yourself, but being passionate about everything that exists together at the same time, okay? Because the rebirth card came up, it's a 10. We Are the World came up, the 10. Well, we got the 10 of Swords, we got the 10 of Pentacles, and then we have the Innocence, which is 19, which reduces to a 10, which is the Sun card. Okay? This is optimism. Okay? Let's see what the last card is. Work. Come on now. I like it. That's the way. I like it. That's the way. I like it. You want to know what card it is? Courage. Yes. Come on now. The strength and the courage to thrive, to be, to blossom, to exist, and to break through. Look at this daisy. Daisy, daisy. That sounds very Victorian, old Victorian house. Anyway, daisies. This is the strength card, connected to courage, connected to endurance, connected to stamina that has been tested, honey. But this says that you was made for something. Somebody was. You know, this is pushing past your limitations, right? And sometimes your limitations might be weaknesses, and sometimes your weakness might actually be your ego, or it could be your pride. But let the ego go, and that's something to be proud about. So someone was tested. Something has really, maybe you felt like it was oppressed. Maybe you felt like it would have been difficult. Maybe you felt like it was impossible. But this is saying that no, it is very much possible. Some experience changed a lot of you that you went through. You know, some difficult experience changed you. Something that would have put you under stress, you know. Let me make sure that I'm not playing something that, you know. Okay. Are we still on the lo-fi no copyright mix? I'm just saying that because I think I hope that that's what it is. Sorry. But, you know, courage, breaking through. This is the heart chakra. This is also the solar plexus, right? Some of you could be having some sort of encounter from like past experience, and it's making you kind of like anxious or nervous. But this is saying you have nothing to be anxious or nervous about, because you have definitely shown what you're made of. That's on both sides. All right, y'all. Woo! Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, those of you who come in with good intentions, you know, in good spirit, in love and light. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe if you want to. And I will talk to you guys next time. Yeah, have a good weekend. Bye.